Moses answered and said, the commons shall not believe to me, neither they shall hear my voice, but they shall say, the Lord appeared not to thee. Therefore the Lord said to him, what is that thou holdest in thine hand? Moses answered, a rod, that is, a shepherd's staff. And the Lord said, cast it forth into the earth. And he cast it forth, and it was turned into a serpent, so that Moses fled. And the Lord said, hold forth thine hand, and take the tail thereof. He stretched forth his hand, and held it, and it was turned again into a rod. And the Lord said, that they believe that the Lord God of thy fathers appeared to thee, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob. And the Lord said again to Moses, put thine hand into thy bosom. And when he had put it into his bosom, he brought forth it leprous, as the likeness of snow. The Lord said again, draw thine hand into thy bosom. Moses again drew in his hand, and brought it forth again, and it was like to the t'other flesh. The Lord said, if they shall not believe to thee, neither shall they hear the word of the former sign, either miracle, they shall believe to the word of the sign pursuing. That if they believe not to these two things, neither hear thy voice, take thou water of the flood, and shed it out it on the dry land, and whatever thing thou shalt draw up on of the flood, it shall be turned into blood. Moses said, Lord, I beseech, I am not eloquent, that is, a fair speaker, from yesterday and the third day ago. And since thou hast spoken to thy servant, I am of more hindered and of slower tongue. The Lord said to him, who made the mouth of man, or who made a dumb man, and deaf, seeing, and blind? Whether not I? Therefore go thou, and I shall be in thy mouth, and I shall teach thee what thou shalt speak. And Moses said, Lord, I beseech thee, send whom thou shalt. And the Lord was wroth against Moses, and said, I know that Aaron thy brother, of the lineage of Levi, is eloquent, that is, a fair speaker. Lo, he shall go out into thy coming, and he shall see thee, and he shall be glad in thy heart, and he shall be glad in heart. Speak thou to him, put thou my words in his mouth, and I shall be in thy mouth, and in his mouth, and I shall show to you what ye ought to do. He shall speak for thee to the people, and he shall be thy mouth. Forsooth, thou shalt be to him in these things that pertain to God. Also, take thou this rod in thine hand, in which thou shalt do miracles. Moses went, and again turned to Jethro, his wife's father, and said to him, I shall go, turn again to my brethren into Egypt, that I see whether they live yet. To whom Jethro said, go thou in peace. Therefore the Lord said to Moses in Midian, go thou, and turn again into Egypt, for all they be dead that sought thy life. Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them on his ass, and he turned again into Egypt, and he bare the rod of God in his hand. And the Lord said to him, turning again into Egypt, see that thou do all the wonders which I have put in thine hand before Pharaoh. I shall make hard his heart, and he shall deliver the people, and he shall not deliver the people. And thou shalt say to him, the Lord saith these things, my first begotten son is Israel. I said to thee, deliver thou my son, that he serve me, and thou wouldest not deliver him. Lo, I shall slay thy first begotten son. And when Moses was in the way, in and in, the Lord came to him, and would slay him. Zipporah took anon a most sharp stone, and circumcised the rod of her son, and she touched Moses' feet, and said, thou art an husband of bloods to me. And he let go him, after that she had said, thou art an husband of bloods to me, for circumcision. Forsooth the Lord said to Aaron, go thou into the coming of Moses in the desert, which went against Moses into the hill of God, and kissed him. And Moses told to Aaron the words of the Lord, for which he had sent Moses, and he told him about the miracles which the Lord had commanded. And they came together, and gathered all the elder men of the sons of Israel. And Aaron spake all the words which the Lord said to Moses, and he did the signs before the people. And the people believed, and they heard that the Lord had visited the sons of Israel, and that he had beheld the torment of them, and they worshipped lowly or meekly the Lord.